Ghost Driving Double Feature presents A Spooky Minute Spent in a Ghost House, episode 19, a minute-by-minute podcast covering the 19th minutes of Spookies and Ghost House. And you can hear I've got the Vinegar Syndrome Blue in there right now. I don't know if you can hear it. It's quite some distance away, but that's the menu playing. I'm about to cue it on up. Yeah, queuing on up, and we are going to discuss minute 19 of Spookies. And if you remember, sadly, the previous minute ended with a more or less unconscious Billy being buried alive by the Catman. Not Catman as in the villain from the Batman comics, but the Catman, the guy with the cat. The cat, he's got like a hook or something on his... Yeah, listen.
I think I'll go get me another one. Oh, excuse me, guys. I wasn't looking where I was going. I'll be a little more careful. Oh, Adrian, hello. How are you? It's good to bump into you, too. Hi, Dave. How's your sinuses? Fine. Oh, Dookie. Why don't you watch where you're going, idiot?
The second half of the minute is that one guy who's friends with Mook, the hand puppet, finishing a beer, and then the camera following him as he kind of spins around, bumps into someone, spins around again, bumps into someone, spins around again, bumps into someone, and then the minute kind of, no, he gets called an idiot by Duke, who's standing there with his gal friend. They're actually, it's funny because they're standing in the doorway, so like, for a building that's so large, they're just blocking this doorway, which I find amusing. And so it's him doing that. It's a nice shot. It's a decent comedy shot. And you get to hear some people's names. And you get to see that it doesn't look like people are having a lot of fun. But they might be. I mean, there's that music playing. Why wouldn't you be having fun if that music was playing? That's fun music, right? Come on, get out of here. Isn't it? Isn't it? I don't know. It's, they've assembled this party in this old, empty, creepy house that suddenly has electricity. And it didn't seem to have electricity when they got there, but I guess they turned it on. Did Billy try the light switch when he did it? It doesn't matter. Billy's dead. Billy, I mean, they killed... Well, we're 19 minutes into the movie. It's not like we're at the start of the movie anymore. We're a decent amount into the movie at this point. But, they killed Billy. Billy struggles a bit as the dirt is thrown on him. There's one strange edit where he seems to be mostly covered apart from his arms, and then the next one, like, his chest isn't really covered as much and things, but yeah, he apparently, I don't know, he gets suffocated in the dirt, or we don't see quite what it is. We see kind of like the Catman do something like hit the ground, kind of slap the ground kind of thing, so maybe that's like a death stab, but that's not what is implied when he does that. But yeah, Billy is dead. I guess buried alive, although he's not fully buried, because that would... I mean, I guess if they had sped it up Benny Hill style and had the Catman go throwing the dirt on him, then that would have been one thing, but that's not what they're doing. So that is what it is. So Billy is dead, and as I've said before, they don't normally kill kids at this time in horror films. And in the original horror film, in the original version, of course, they didn't kill a kid because a kid wasn't in it. So this is something added by the second round of people. And again, if you want to hear the full story, I'm not going to really go into it too much here. But yeah, this is is it Eugenia Joseph or Phillips or what? I don't remember her name. Eugenia, I believe, is her. I'm going to look. But the woman who was brought on as director sort of after they fired the original two directors. Yeah, that was one of her scenes, and it ends with you see the Catman sneaking along the ground, returning to the house, and then you get the bit with Mook's friend going to get another beer. And does he not have a gal with him? I'm trying to... I guess he doesn't have a gal. How many people are there? There's the snooty couple. There's the guy with the allergies and the woman with the cigarette. There's the I really love this house gal. There's Duke and his gal. There's the Mook friend of Mook. Am I missing someone? I feel like there's another guy, but I could be wrong. 9 people? Does that sound right? I guess maybe we can see next time if we get a better look at everyone and how they're partying. It didn't really occur to me to count. But I always felt like this guy, the goofy guy with the mustache and the hand puppet, was probably didn't have someone and everyone else did. So I figured there were 9. I could be wrong. So in this minute we say goodbye to Billy. Billy we hardly need. I mean, poor kid. Just to think that he starts off his day, he's turned 13. He's excited. He's ecstatic. No one remembers his birthday. They don't say what day this is, if it's a weekend or something like that. But I'm imagining in my heart this is like a Friday, and he went out and he went to school and no one remembered there either. No one remembered his birthday at all, which is why he ran off. And now we're late in the evening, 9:10 in the evening or something like that, and he's dead. That's kind of it's a goofy movie, but that's kind of sad, right? He's making maybe his parents will show up later on and save him or something, but there's something about I no one remembered my birthday. I'm running away from home. You don't see that like in an after school special or something. I'm running away from home because my family doesn't care. And then 6 hours later, they're buried alive by a cat man. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember Scott Baio or Eve Plum coming across that sort of scenario, but I haven't seen all the episodes. That sounds like maybe something more like a driver's ed film or something like that. Don't run away from home, because at night a half man, half cat will tear up your face and bury you alive. It happens. I don't know. I don't. One way or the other, I don't. I sincerely don't know. But that's kind of all there is to say about this minute. I mean, we say goodbye to Billy and Godspeed his soul to wherever it went to, and we're back at the party, and very soon those spookies type things are going to begin to happen, but it's still going to be a few minutes. That's because the other group of people kept throwing in these random scenes with Billy, but that's all done. The Catman will return, the bald-headed old guy, the lady, the little Jawa boy, they'll return. Listen to this. May 23rd, 1967. If this is 20 years later, it's not. It wouldn't be May of 1967. So what must have happened? I was going to say May 23rd, 1967. That must have been when the murder happened, and this is 20 years later. But obviously, the fact that it's clearly autumn or a winter day without snow or cold in it, I would say autumn. I would guess this is I'm guessing this is October of '67, maybe November of '67. Oh, I'm sorry, this October of '87, November of '87. This can't be late May of 1967. The second half of spring, the leaves would be on the trees, and yeah, we're less than a month off from summer, and all 4 years when I went to college, we were done by May 23rd. I think on my the year I graduated, we graduated on May 21st, my birthday, but that the week prior to that was senior week, which was nothing but like activities and things for like the graduating seniors. Class was done like on the 14th, so and they're not dressed for May 23rd. I don't care how chilly it gets. They seem dressed for autumn or early spring, not May 23rd. So I'm wondering what that means. I'm guessing it's 20 years. It's 20 years and several months later. And yeah, the moment they step inside the house, and again we see Martha's shoes, which I am not thrilled with, but we'll get over that. Yeah, the two of them walk in the house after trying the door for a bit, and the moment they get in the house, it's 100% studio. It's like you can tell just from the look of it, and from the windows, the way the windows are curtained off and everything. It's immediately evident that we're now in the studio. It doesn't feel like it. In the opening sequence with little girl, where the parents get killed, it feels like a house. This doesn't feel like a house. This feels like a studio somewhere in Italy. And I like the way that they're in the hallway, and then Paul goes to our right, his left, into a side room where he goes to the corner and finds the date, and leaves Martha. Sort of, she's not there. And because through the end of the minute is her walking like a kitchen area in a huge rack of hanging knives, like butcher knives and carving knives and things like that. Sort of a larger variation on that wall wherever it is in Scream, Byron Quisenberry's Scream, that has like the scythe and the axe and the butcher knife, or what, I forget what they are, like that show the things hanging on it, and you just see, all of a sudden one of them lifts off the wall, and then one of them's back on the wall, but it's bloody. That's what that reminds me of. She goes reaching for it. I worry about her a little as she's approaching it there, because she kind of, the minute ends with her like grabbing the blade of one of the I don't know, that's a butcher's knife. I was never sure, there was a time where I sold knives. Have any of you been suckered into this? Back when I was in college, I sold knives for like 2.5 months. And it was always like, the knife I always thought was the butcher knife. Was not. It was a chopping knife, and that looks like the chopping knife, where you put stuff down, and you have the handle in one hand, you raise it up, and you press the other end down, and you put, like, say, carrots or things under it, and you go chop 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 along it. That's not a butcher knife. I think the butcher knife is the thing on the right, the more rectangular blade rather than the long sword-like blade. Although the more I look at them, the more none of them look real. But that's okay, because it's not a real house. So yeah, this is just a creeping around minute. There's not much going on. Billy died in the middle of Spookies, and we got some gaggery. This is just them creeping around. But they do get the date, which I guess is it significant? I guess it's significant. I don't know. I guess it implies it was over 20 years ago when someone lived in this house. But there is a caretaker, or a crazy man at least, with a shovel, who's taking care of it. So that will be what that will be. And let's see, what else is going on in this? Oh, nothing really. A lot of stuff covered with sheets, and presumably there's someone else maybe in there somewhere. Something's going on, and we do hear a little of the nice creepy synth music at the end. But there's really not much more going on. It's a creep around minute, and the fact that Martha goes into the kitchen and starts like touching some knives means maybe she isn't scared as she thinks she is, or as scared as she says. But she still looks good, and Paul still looks like a bit of a dope. So there's not much to say on this minute. We had a momentous Spookies minute with the passing of Billy, and this moment we get a random date and some knife touching. Hey, you can get it if you really want it, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's kind of this minute, everyone. We'll see what happens next time. There'll be more partying and Spookies and more random wandering around this enormous house and ghost house. So maybe they'll encounter a ghost. Maybe those other folks will encounter some spooky stuff. I don't know, but we'll find out. Listen to this.